going to let Mallory tell you guys about the center, but I did want to share something with you guys real quick. So every year we run the Healthcare Innovation Sprint. This is an opportunity for juniors and above. So if you're completing your sophomore year this May, you would still be able to apply for this. So I would love for you guys to consider this opportunity. Mallory's gonna play this video for you guys. This is the QR code for the application. And then if you guys have any questions at any point, feel free to ask. I'm out of breath. Any of us, the conductor team. So we have Caitlin and Chris, of course Mallory, and then Tracy's gonna be joining us. So feel free to ask any questions and
The conductor is doing this program. It's a really interesting program that provides students from all over the state the ability to learn process and structures of identifying problems, building solutions, how to talk to customers. Being here in the state will really benefit the state long term in terms of both and also economics.
This week provides a really unique opportunity for students to dive into the entrepreneurial process and really understand innovation and specifically when that comes to healthcare. And that's something that they can try out here before they go out into the real world. I also think this event offers an opportunity to come up with something, whether that be a business or a service that they can really create and take into the industry.
Desire to see these students kind of leave this opportunity with a real venture that they can then pursue, create, and work on from here on out. But I think really the biggest takeaway that I want to see in the students that participate is just the ability to problem solve from an entrepreneurial standpoint.
I think one of the most important things is even at a very young age, you can start a business. You've got to be good to a problem. The goal is your oyster in terms of what you can do. For young people to realize that at an early time, I think that's great.
It's so fun seeing what the ideas and enthusiasm they have. And sometimes they'll have an idea that something find out it's hard to solve. And then they can quickly come up with a new idea and they just run with it. Just the resiliency I see every year is awesome.
Really enjoyed working with the team, other mentors we built, and this was very fun experience for me.
And it's been absolutely incredible. We've got to meet over 50 people within the healthcare space, business space. I learned so much from them. It's been super fun to see all the ideas from the different teams, to hear about all the problems within the healthcare space.
So the sprint of learning that I had, that's immense, and I can take that to my classroom and develop our ideas.
It's meet new people and make new relationships. It's really beneficial.
I really appreciate being at this competition because it helps me make many friends. I will learn many professional skills that help me in my future life. I would like to encourage you guys coming each year because it doesn't require any major. You don't have to be a major to be able to participate. I'm hoping in the system what I learned really a lot from this journey, and I hope you guys be here this year.
Guys, that was fun, Jamie. I have one hand. That isn't my team. We'll wake up. Okay. Thank you guys for being here today.
I'm really happy that the conductor is doing this program.
So thank you guys for being here today. Today we're going to talk about audience-driven marketing, what that means, and everything that comes is for marketing for a business, specifically for a small business. So my name is Mallory Watson. I'm the marketing and outreach manager for Conductor. So I do anything marketing and outreach for our services, and this is an example of an outreach event that we have and that we put on. So I really appreciate Dr. Sitter working with us and the College of Business. This is a great way to show you all what resources are in Conway so that if you leave college and start a side hustle while you're in college, you know it's available to you, especially ones like us that are at no cost. And so you're not starting from ground zero. That's something you want to pursue later on or after school. So our mission is to inspire and empower entrepreneurs, innovators, and small business leaders. This is how, maybe not that example, this is how we want to support small business owners on the left. We want to empower entrepreneurs to be the best version of themselves, their business, and reach their goals. And Conway is a great place to do that. I'm excited to be here today because I went to UCA, graduated from here. I majored in both communication and public relations, and I got my master's from Arkansas State University in strategic communication. So I really love getting to apply all those things I learned in school and get to connect with UCA and share about our mission and what we do for small business owners. We empower entrepreneurs by facilitating the following. So workshops like today is really a big one that we contribute. This QR code will take you to our website, or you can go to arconductor.org. We also have one-on-one consultations with our team. So of course, we're going to talk about marketing today, and that's great, that's fun, but don't book a consult with me for finance. That's more Grace or Jeff or Erica. So you can consult with our team members at no cost based on your needs. So we want to cater to that and figure out the solutions to your problems. And there may be something, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that come to us and say, I just don't know what I don't know, and I need a starting point. So anywhere from idea phase to your 10Xing your business, we help with all of those, okay? So we have pitch nights. We're gonna have one of those this year here at UCA, so we're really excited about that. We have a SME network that is at Arnold Innovation Center in Downway, which is a co-working space that entrepreneurs can work out of for $25 a month starting. And there's snacks and coffee and a lunch once a month. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of community, and people just have really loved that addition to Downtown Conway. Keep loan assistance, 10X Growth Accelerator. So we have a lot that we want to offer to you and make sure is known to, especially students that may want to pursue entrepreneurship. So today, this is what we're going to talk about. What is an audience? I know we think we know what that is, but we're going to go back to the basics and talk about that. How to find or create your audience for your business. And just remember, a business, a person, a brand, all of those things have an audience. It's not just one of those. The value of knowing your audience. Okay, so if you know your audience, you don't need to know anyone. You don't need to be able to hone in on everyone in the world. If you know yours, you're so much more powerful with your brand or your business. Growing your audience, how to make better use of that, how to target them, and then marketing techniques for your audience. So I think we're going to say the word audience a lot today, and you'll hear it a ton. So what's the definition of an audience? This is what Google says. And I underline the one at the bottom that I think is the most relevant, especially pertaining to small business owners or a brand. So the first one, the assembled spectators or listeners at a public event such as a play, movie, concert, or meeting. Today's workshop, you all are my audience. So when I was putting together this presentation, I catered it to the fact that most of this room is college students. Okay, we have some small business owners, but most of you are younger individuals, so I had that in mind when creating this presentation today. The readership of a book, magazine, or newspaper, or Instagram, or updated version of that, the people giving are likely to give their attention to something. So I think that's the most point blank, straightforward definition of an audience. How we define our own audiences is very important. This feels a little invasive, like we can look at all these things, right? We're looking at age and gender and social class and how much money you make and purchasing power, but all of those things play a role in who you're catering to and why, and there's also a lot of power in knowing who you're not catering to. That will save you so much time and money and resources long term if you know, I haven't honed in this much, but I really know I'm not for this group. So we're going to eliminate that. So age, gender, education background, lifestyle, consumption habits, location, social class, interests, purchasing power. So I'll use an example towards the end of the presentation. But, moms have a lot of purchasing power. They just do. They're making all the decisions, Erica knows. They're making really a lot of decisions for a household. So if you find, not in every single case or every place, but a lot of times more individuals in a household have more purchasing power. And that's something really important to keep in mind, because if you know who's swiping that card or putting their information in on Amazon or whatever, that's key to success and just being aware overall. Okay. Why should you question your audience? If you're a small business owner here today, or you are an aspiring entrepreneur and you know my brand is for XYZ, and I know that. All I ask for you today is just to take a step back, listen, take it all in, and consider all the things and just refine it a little bit more. Even if you think you know 110% who your audience is, just reflect on it a little bit today. You should question your audience, because if you don't, especially for small business owners that don't have insane access to capital compared to bigger companies that can take more risks, you're wasting resources that are very valuable. And so that's time, that's money. Your employees, you probably don't have that many employees, if at all. Tons of small business owners that I know that are at the AIC with us, they are their marketing director. Sarah Long is watching. She's with Top Notch Heating and Air. It's an HVAC company, and she is the marketing director for her business, and she owns most of the company with her husband, Steven. So that's the case a lot of times. And so if you don't direct your energy in the proper way, you're going to spend so much time just wasting, time that can be better spent on your business. Isn't this beautiful? I made this. So I know you're not a group of kindergartners, it's probably isn't that appealing, but this is really the best analogy or visual I could give you all. I'm a really visual person. So we're going to say that we are a company and flounders are our audience. We know that. We know where they like to sleep at night and be and swim to, and we know what they eat, and we know all about their habits and what they're interested in and all the things. That's our audience. The mistake that I see a lot of business owners and people make is that everyone just says when they start, well, we want to cast a wide net. We have to cast a wide net. It has to be huge because we want to get everybody. If you've been to any of our workshops, you've probably heard a couple of our other conductor employees, Glenn and Jeff, say, if you're for everyone, you are for no one. So you can't please everyone and you can't target everyone with one ad. It's just not physically possible. So this is what happens when you just blindly cast a wide net sometimes. And not to say that marketing isn't some trial and error. Sometimes it is. You'd be shocked by what works sometimes. I've learned that. But this is what will happen if you cast a wide net. We're not getting any flounders over there. And that's what we want to get. So that's a smaller net. Now we know where to fish. Now we know where they live. Now we know their habits. Now we know where they frequent, where they eat out, who they're friends with, what their hobbies are. And we spent less money. Think of a net as money. We spent less money and energy, and we got all the flowers because we knew where they were, and we knew their habits, and we had all the information. Okay, so that's really the visual of what audience is, why it's important. Okay, my team's gonna laugh at me because they know I'm a Taylor Swift fan. So raise your hand if you at all care about Taylor Swift or the NFL. Yes. Okay, great. I figured so. So that's why I included this. It's so timely. So it's such a good example of everything we're talking about today. So if you're not a fan, I'm really sorry. Super Bowl is coming up though. So we're going to talk about these two audiences, why it's important, what it has done, why it matters. Taylor Swift's audience is as follows. Swifties, which are avid Taylor Swift fans, lean female, white, make under $50,000 a year, and are suburban millennials. It's fake. So just under 3/4 of self-identifying avid Swift fans are white, while 13% are black and 9% are Asian, according to Morning Consult survey. Additionally, while Swift fans skew female, 48% of those Swift fans are male, but most of them are women. 52% of them are women. So if you're a visual person, this is also a breakdown of that audience, who they are. Let me check that all in. Okay. So it's pretty interesting to look at, but it's very clear who they are. Okay. The NFL's audience, it's a different group of people. This is my father. My dad, fans engaged with the most intensity skew older, and that's important. Fans who engage with the most intensity. We're not talking about people who just watch the Super Bowl halftime show because they want to see Usher or J-Lo. We're talking about people who are buying merchandise. They are planning their Sundays around it. They're skipping church. They are like moving to things, and they're avid fans. So that's important to take note of. These are engaged people. They skew older and male. Of the 58% of Americans that do engage on a weekly basis, 73% are male, aged 50 plus. The league is more popular among affluent Americans. 70% of NFL engaged U.S. residents have a household income of 100K or more. So 25% who earn under 50K agree that they would consider purchasing a brand based on its sponsorship in the NFL. That means if they get a commercial, you're partnering with a beer company, a brand, I don't know. They have tons of those. That they are more likely to buy something just because the NFL says, we support this, or we're partnering, or we put this commercial together and it's got NFL players, logo, and this beer. You're more likely to drink it, buy it, whatever that product is. So again, these are engaged people who have said they're more likely to spend money. Size is huge for both Taylor Swift and the NFL. They are very different audiences. Yes, there's some blend there where you have people. I enjoy sports. I keep up with it. And I also like Taylor Swift, but that's not your usual split with these audiences. So this came out, I think, this weekend. And Taylor Swift has generated an equivalent brand value of $331.5 million for the Chiefs and the NFL per Apex Marketing, including digital, print, radio, TV highlights, and social dating back to September when she first started going to games. That's a lot. Okay. That's essentially saying this marketing company did all this research based on social media interactions, how much those are worth, how much weight that holds, jersey purchases, Travis Kelce merch, all of it, ticket sales, the works, and that's what it equals to. So my point to that, I love Taylor Swift, and I'm like, yes, she should be president. But my point to that is that's the power of adding an entire other audience to the NFL who are normal, 50-plus-year-old men who probably, and I think it said this when I did research, who lean Republican, and then you're adding younger women who are white that lean white. It's just two completely different audiences of people. So that's a really cool example. You should go do all this research on it. It's really fun. So what I would like for everyone to do, just take a second, think about people, brands, businesses. They can be larger businesses, maybe a small business here in Conway. Doesn't matter. Name some brands, individuals, or products that you think have a distinct or identified target audience. So I'm just gonna wait until we have some people who want to share some brands, companies that they feel like have a strong target audience, or one that you remember. Family cups. Yes. I know. Like luxury brands like Louis Vuitton.
Don't make it awkward, guys.
I'll wait.
We
I'll
will
wait.
wait.
I'll wait, I'll let you think of some.
Jeep Wranglers or Jeeps?
Yeah. Yep, that's so true. Yes, yes, I'm part of that audience as well.
Mendel's.
What is it?
Mendel's.
What is that?
They're Russell's.
I don't have kids, so I'm not their audience.
She's right.
That's awesome.
That's like the luxury.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the top line.
It's like top tier.
Check
That's what I
it out.
ordered.
Future moms. It's top of the line. Okay. These are good examples. Yes. I'm not familiar. What's that?
So is it for women, like for makeup and stuff?
Oh, yes,
Oh.
yes. Yep. People love Ulta. Y'all see where now there's like 10-year-olds that are obsessed with Ulta. Videos on TikTok. What else? Yes. Starbucks. The good one. But anyone else? Who's there? What about like Shein or Shein? Yeah. Yeah.
Even they.
Everybody.
Money?
TikTok. Yeah, anyone on TikTok. Okay, any more? Those are great examples. Okay. What'd you say? Yeah. That's a good one. Okay. So I'm going to show you some that I just thought of at the top of my head. Some that are bigger brands and then some that are local brands. And I thought of them because most of these I'm part of. So that's, the ones that you guys named, they're top of mind for you because you're probably part of that audience and you know they cater to you really well, right? Or you have a family member that really spends a lot of money for that product. So Target, they just cater to the experience that is Target, right? Like you can go in there, you can get coffee, you can get popcorn. You don't really have to buy anything. I mean, I do every time, but you don't have to buy anything to have this experience, okay? It's just like a fun, that's a good example of them using customer experience to sort of elevate shopping. Apple, they're always making updates, wanting feedback, doing all this market research. Dove, they're huge on, I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of their commercials. I studied them in college and they're still doing them, but they really cater to like current women's issues and girls, and it's really good. Chick-fil-A, they're very clear about their brand. It's got really good Christian chicken, and it's always their pleasure. Amazon, Patty Cakes here in Conway. We've got Graybeard Ammo. Their target audience is my fiance, not me at all. They love like people who own guns, and probably a veteran, and you have a beard, and you're all rugged, and have tattoos. Think Coffee here in Conway. They do really good at sort of highlighting on you guys, like these college students, and having different like marketing ideas and small touches here and there. They're here in the College of Business. Road Roundabout, they knew that there was like a whole new market in Conway of wanting draft beer and younger people having a place to go that wasn't necessarily a bar, but it was a good lunch spot. So these are just some that stood out to me, and you guys know some of them. So, okay, how can we better target our audience? So, know where your audience is and isn't. I used to work for Pediatrics Plus in marketing, and someone would say, "Oh, we're having this golf tournament. Are you guys interested in having an ad or having sponsor?" And we're like, "Oh, what kind of golf tournament is it? Can you tell us more about it?" And it was just a normal golf tournament. It wasn't like a super women-driven thing, just a typical golf tournament. So probably mostly men and dads were going to be there, which is awesome. But that wasn't our target demographic. So we were like, we'll pass. our target demographic is women who are having children, 25 to 35. Statistically, they make all of the healthcare decisions for their family. So we just thought it would be a waste of our time and money. So I think there's a lot of power in knowing where you don't need to be, where you don't have to waste your money or energy. Place ads more intentionally. Where are you placing your ads and why? So I just talked about that. Customer experience. I talked about Target a little bit, but I don't know if y'all have been to this restaurant in Little Rock. It's called Camp Taco, and it's like a camp, like you're going to camp, like when you were a kid. And when they bring you your bill, they put it in like the Babysitters Club book, and they hold it up and they hand it to you. It's like an old, torn apart book that's got like a ton of signatures in it, and it looks like something that you would have found under your bunk bed at camp that someone brought from home. And so small touches like that in experience, I think are really important to remember. I know everyone's moving over to making things more automated and making everything tech and using waiters or waitresses with like iPads everywhere. But some brands don't do that. They want pen and paper. They know that their audience may skew older and they prefer that. And so a lot of those decisions are pretty intentional. If you see them at a restaurant, I know a lot of bars or restaurants, young people like you guys go, and you may not even like the food, but there's good music, the lighting's cool, the decoration's cool, it's in a good spot of town, the parking isn't a nightmare, and you still go because the experience is good, even though you're not just absolutely in love with your food. So customer experience is a huge part of it. Branding, reevaluate your brand. I understand that you make a logo, you create it, and you're really proud of it. That's awesome. But don't be afraid to rebrand if it feels appropriate, or if the time comes and you think you have a different audience and this doesn't reflect who you are. So revisit that, look at it, and think, is this font? Do these colors attract the people that I'm trying to attract? Because there's so much psychology behind marketing that we don't think about. But that's why you're double clicking on Amazon and buying something immediately. That's why we're on TikTok Shop and just getting things that we see for 2 seconds. It's because the way someone's marketing has a lot to do with how we think in our habits. Okay, expanding your audience. I love that Greg talked about Stanley because we're going to talk about that. Here's how a more than 100-year-old company, their product that was originally discontinued became one of the most sought after items in the US. So if you don't know, Stanley has been around for a long time. I didn't know this. And they catered specifically to construction workers, and they did like army green, black, gray, pretty much it. And that was what their water bottles were made for, was people at construction sites. And the business had sort of died off and was almost like non-existent anymore. And these moms in Arizona, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but they essentially brought back to life this company and gained an entire audience with women who have all the spending power. And it's a really cool example. So for much of their history, we're a company that marketed mostly towards men, construction workers, outdoorsmen, and people who work in physical labor jobs. So again, not me. I'm a part of the new audience that they are catering to. So let's talk through how this came to be, because it is kind of crazy, but it's an example of Stanley being open to embrace a new audience. And so this is important too. Stanley outdoor brand, dying off. You can't find cups anywhere because like their production is so low that you can't get it because it's just so low production. On Instagram, it's for Arizona moms, and they started this Instagram page called Buy Guide, and it essentially was like, you know, curated. This is what you need for Christmas for a stocking. This is what you need for this. So they put together these curated gift boxes and kind of influencers influencer page, and they got a lot of followers and built a brand off of that. And they were in love with the Stanley Cup. They weren't in love with the army green of it all, but they loved them, and they knew that if we got a hold of these and they got the right color, they would go crazy. So they sent in a package. They did like a PR package. You guys have seen how influencers will open public relations packages. And like, oh, I got this from Rare Beauty, and this is Rare Beauty, all the things. And Emily, forget her last name, but she, before my time watching The Bachelorette, she received a package, and she has a large fall, and she opened it, and there was a Stanley Cup. And she was a new mom, and she was just dehydrated all the time. And so she was like, oh, this is awesome. I've been wanting one of these. They're in stock nowhere, but I've heard they're great. And so these Arizona women bought out the entire Stanley inventory when they dropped more, 7,500 cups. And this is what they all were. Cups. And again, better than like the black and the green, but not what Stanley is today necessarily for women. So they bought them out, and they sold out of stock when they resold them to people within a day on Shopify. Just because it was in demand, and the white made it a little bit more appealing to look at versus like the black or the green. And so that is, I watched an interview on it, and you guys should look it up. It's really interesting. This woman talks through that entire process. And she said, you know, Stanley is now successful and has this new audience. Yes, because of us. We did this, and we got their attention. And we said, hey, this sold out in a day. You need to make pastel colors. You need to make bright colors. You need to make it more pretty for women. But Stanley was open to a new audience. And it's not much more work for them to just change the color of their cup, right? So I think, yes, we need to know our audience, but if it's not a super heavy lift on your business or your brand or your company to make a small change to gain another audience, that's an awesome example of someone being open to do it and it being successful. And now you see people like fighting each other at Target for these Stanley Cups, and it's just crazy. So this is not an ad, but I have mine. So that's an awesome example. I hope you guys learned a lot today, got a lot out of the content, information. If you want to keep up with us, this is the best possible way to keep up with events, what we have going on with Conductor. You can follow us on Instagram, AR Conductor, and then Facebook and LinkedIn, Conductor. And then if you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, you can do so with this QR code. We send you a monthly, that's about it. So nothing crazy. But we hope you connect with us. And then, does anyone need this longer? Just let me know if you guys have any questions, want to know more about our services, want to book a time with me for consult, or our team. But we'll end with questions. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Yes.
Just curious, we're a whole bunch of college students over here as well. So I was wondering if you would know, what's catered towards us, like at the moment? Like what is some of that college students are like wanting to buy?
I think like just any brand or like marketing techniques.
Yeah, marketing technique.
Yeah. I mean, TikTok is huge right now, and it's interesting because Instagram used to be, I think when I was in college, Instagram was like the place that you were going to influence me, and I think my age of people probably stayed there. And so I enjoy Instagram a little bit more because of that reason. But I think since TikTok has come to be, it's really informal, and I think your age group likes that, and it's really relatable. It's very raw content, and so I think that there's a lot of power in TikTok. Have you guys seen Jet and Cookie on TikTok? Anyone? Yes, I heard someone laugh about it. But it's amazing what goes viral, what works works and what doesn't. So I think starting knowing where your audience is, and I feel like you guys are on yourself, and you can confirm or deny that, but, yeah, I think so. Anyone else? Yes.
Going back to the early stages of your presentation, what about knowing your audience helps in the connecting process?
If you plan to connect your business, I think that's a great, when we do our 10X Growth Accelerator, with Conductor, we do one every year with businesses that are a little bit more progressed, but, we always revisit marketing and talk about, okay, if you're about to really try to expand your business, you're probably putting more financial risk into that, you're probably putting more time, you may be putting up another brick and mortar. And so there's no better time to reevaluate your audience at that time because you're about to invest a lot. So I think it's important to reevaluate your audience or say, we have a new audience and they need this. And then, you know, we're Stanley, we still want to cater to the outdoorsmen, but we've added this. We haven't completely shifted. So I think before you spend all that time and energy, always be reevaluating and open to adding one to what you currently do. Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me today. We're gonna have more workshops and we're gonna have a pitch competition here for you guys, specifically for your students. So be on the lookout for that. But definitely connect with us. Let's go back to the beginning. And we would love to provide resources to you guys. If you're just thinking about a business, we would be happy to talk with you about that process. So thank you so much for having me, and we'll be back.